Hello USJTF members around the world, USJTF 6 here, Commander of the United States Joint Task Force. It's great talking to you today. Outstanding day outside from what I can see. You got blue skies, sunshine. If it's not that way where you live, I apologize, but it's a great day for us. You know, looking back, the USJTF and its 4-year history, it's done some pretty awesome stuff. It's great things out there in the airsoft community. I honestly would never have thought in the wildest dreams when we, and I do say we, because I had a really good group of buddies of mine, we started this thing about 4 years ago, that it would become what it is today. You know, a lot of people don't know this, but the USJTF was started around a $5 plastic card table with 4 legitimate members of the airsoft community that all decided, hey, we'd do better if we all worked together. And that was 4 years ago. And I look forward towards today to see what we have done, and it's amazing. You know, the USJTF encompasses almost 1,300 members around the world from 46 different member teams. We have members in 14 different countries around the world that either have a team or a chapter. There's also a team or a chapter located in 6 out of 7 continents of the world in the USJTF. Our education in schools for Milsim Airsoft is probably some of the best stuff you'll ever find on the net. We have basic training, advanced training, and our special warfare training courses that are conducted over a long period of time that immerses our members with valuable skills. These things really come forward in the forefront and really show you what the USJTF is really all about, because it is a huge thing and a lot of people don't know about it, or they have a very little understanding about what's going on. So today I'd like to talk to you about this in greater detail so you understand about the USJTF, what it has to offer, and what are the benefits to you joining. You know, in Milsim Airsoft they always have this catchy phrase. It's, we work as a team, or teamwork is the key. You know, that's vitally important in Milsim Airsoft, and it's exactly what the USJTF encompasses daily. You know, I'm a soldier, 13-year infantryman. I've been doing this thing for a long time. I've seen the ups, I've seen the downs, and I'll tell you, you know, being in the service, they always preach a couple things to us. But the one thing they do preach is that you are a profession of arms. Mind you, I say a profession. You know, if you go to work on a daily basis, that's a job. Something that you do. Something that you do to earn a paycheck. You know, a job, people don't really care about you. You go in, you do your 9-to-5 shift. You come home. You know, if you get sick and you call the boss man and you say, hey, I ain't going to be able to make it in, he's going to ask you why. And then he might even fire you. Who knows, right? But a profession, most likely a profession of arms, is a much different thing. You know, you train your entire life to do something special. You train your entire life to hone your skills, to be the best you can, to be a professional in your profession. That's what the USJTF is all about. To us, airsoft's just not a 9-to-5 thing on a Saturday, where we dress up in our Saturday or Sunday best and head out to the field, play a couple games where we shoot some rounds at each other, and we go home. To me, that's more like a job. You know, I can do that on the shift work. You know, to me, it's not really something that I'd really want to do with airsoft, because there's no personal interaction with that. You know, when you look to your left and look to your right in the USJTF, you can feel proud that you're part of something special, because we do have that brotherhood that we all feel. And a lot of guys say, hey, it's just Milsim Airsoft, how can you feel that brotherhood? Well, that's probably the first problem with you, because you have a hard time understanding the dynamics of one word. It's called teamwork. You know, in the USJTF, we say we're in a brotherhood because we mean it. Everybody knows that they're part of a dynamic team. Everybody knows they have a mission, task, and purpose. and they have a dynamic reason for being in the organization. Everybody has a piece that they need to fill or a job they need to do in order to make things flow successfully. There's a lot of different airsoft organizations out there that say they meet that requirement. Well, first of all, it's not really a requirement. Second of all, it's not something that you can require anyone to do, because it's a true feeling of brotherhood and friendship, cooperation, and teamwork that you need in order to so fulfill that requirement. I'm very proud to be in the USJTF because of that. I'm very proud to be part of an organization where I know that a member on my left or a member on my right, that I can trust them, that they have a thorough understanding about what needs to be done, that they have committed themselves to being the masters of their profession, that they're learning and educating themselves and training themselves to be better leaders, better players. They're training other players to be better players to help the sport. If there's any reason to join the USJTF, I think this was probably one of the best reasons, because if you're really looking for that experience, that outside-the-box experience, that gives you the ability to be part of a group where you can feel proud of the collective achievements of everyone, this is the place to be. You know, last month I went to Ohio for a big game, 981-mile drive, to visit members of the Ohio Regiment of the USJTF. Had an awesome time. But there's a few things that I remember when I'm talking about this stuff to you today that kind of come into the forefront. You know, I showed up the night before, spent the night talking about stuff with Chris Collins, our CSM of the organization. But the morning of the game, I'm out there looking around at the people who showed up. A lot of good people showed up to that game that day, but I'll tell you one thing, right off the bat, I did one scan across the field. About 200 meters down the road, I see a group of guys standing together, looking good in their dress, wearing that USJTF uniform with pride, sitting there around the trunk of a car, talking about the game, talking about how they're going to do things, checking their gear and equipment, making sure everything's okay. And then they come up to the pro shop, and they all walk by me, and they say, "It's good morning, sir." And I said, "Yes, it is. How are you guys doing?" "We're doing awesome. We're ready to rock." Now, mind you, I've never met these people before. Maybe on the internet I've had a brush in or I've talked to them. But they all knew who I was that day. They all worked as one group. Because after I got done talking to these folks, I tried to figure out where they all come from. And some of them were from different teams, from different areas in Ohio. But they all came together that day to form that unique, dynamic team where everyone worked together. It's hard enough getting individual teams to work together. But today, during that event, we had multiple teams working together. And that was an awesome thing to see. And that day, we really did show the people out there what the USJTF has to offer, and we had a fun time with everyone. You know, there's one thing about the USJTF, and that is we don't brag, we don't like to brag, and we like to work with other people. And we had a great time working with the other Ohio airsofters out there too. Awesome experience. You know, there was a lot of awesome things, like I said, going on that day that really made me feel pretty proud. But there's one thing I always feel proud about when I visit teams or, you know, I see videos online. It's those guys wearing that USJTF uniform. You know, our uniform is something that is worn by our members around the world. Doesn't matter where you're from, doesn't matter what kind of team you have. We all wear the same kind of uniform. And it's an awesome thing to see. You know, a lot of different airsoft teams have uniforms. But I think of it like more like a flavor of the week. Oh, AOR 2 came out, so we got all switched to AOR 2. Or, you know, they don't really understand why they wear the uniforms or why they wear the certain patterns. They just wear it to try to look cool. or try to look the best on the field. You know, Airsoft's never a fashion show, period, anyway. So I don't really understand that fact, but I know for a fact when I put on that USJTF uniform, it's kind of like when I put on that uniform in the service every morning. When I step out my door in my home, I feel proud to wear that thing. I feel proud that I had the ability to serve something higher, a higher calling. And with that USJTF uniform, it's not just a piece of fabric. It's not something we wear to show off. It's a representation of our organization. It's a representation of all the members of our organization that give their time and their effort back to it. Every USJTF member knows when they wear that uniform, they're not only representing themselves or their team, they're representing all the members around the world. It's a functional uniform. It works. It shows ranks, positions of responsibility, the teams that you're involved in, your location. It's made that way to be an identification on the battlefield. But mostly, when you're standing with a group of USJTF members, you know that you're with good company. Discipline shows in small things. And with uniforms that look the same, that are exactly the regulation and things like that, it really shows a form of discipline. And I know that I have the highest faith and confidence in people that I work around in Airsoft because of their level of discipline that they display on the battlefield and off the Airsoft battlefield, you know, just talking or hanging out. So it's been good talking to you today for the USJTF. I want to thank you for listening to the podcast. If you're interested in what we're talking about, if this seems right up your alley, which I think it probably does, you need to get on that USJTF website, www.usjtf.org, and look for yourself. Do some self-study, some self-investigation. Find out if this is really for you. If you would like to join USJTF, we got plenty of people that can help you, get you in, assist you in development, and make you a better MilSim player, not because we're better than anybody else, just because we have the resources to help you and give you a hand. You know, I thank you guys for your time. I thank you for everything that you've provided us in the MilSim Airsoft community, and to our allies and friends out there, thank you very much as well for everything you do. So until next time, this is USJTF 6, and I wish you the best of luck in your Airsoft endeavors. Thank you. Bye.